Hey, this is Eric from Cafe Watercolor. So last time we talked about why some of the most common questions on internet about watercolor is actually not the most important ones, and why things like materials and technique won't make you a better artist. If you haven't watched that video, I strongly suggest you go back and watch that one first. In today's coffee talk, I'm going to continue that topic and share with you 3 ways to become a better artist. And best thing about them is that they are completely free and you can do it right now. So the first thing is to train your eye and your mind. As I mentioned briefly from the last video, the most important thing a good artist should have is to have a keen eye and sharp mind in order to have a good vision for painting. I've seen so many artists, despite has little to no experience with watercolor, they were able to produce a beautiful painting with just a few tries. In fact, their painting looked better than some of the artists who claim they have been painting watercolor for 10 plus years. Why? It's because they have good vision of how they want their painting to look like. They know what makes a good painting, and to them, materials and mediums are simply tools for them to achieve their vision. Like I said, material is the extension of you, so working on improving your artistic core should be the first thing to focus on. I'm sure you got a list of your favorite artists. Spend some time on the internet and look for their paintings, and I mean really look into them, study them, spend a good amount of time on them, trying to understand why do they paint a certain way, the value, the shape, the visual language they use, and the subject and composition they choose. My friend Liran has some great video on studying some of the best watercolor artists, and I strongly suggest you check them out. Really be honest with yourself and comparing their painting to yours. You should be able to see the difference. Ask yourself some hard questions like, what makes their painting better than mine? What am I lacking? And what can I do to make my painting to have that same look? If your eye cannot see the issue of your painting and you have no clue what makes a master's painting better than yours, you really need to start training your eyes and your mind. I often look at my own painting and compare with some of the artists who I look up to and see what I need to work on. It is not an easy thing to admit your own shortcoming, as it wasn't easy for me. But remember, nothing will change if you stay in your comfort zone. So get a little bit uncomfortable and really be honest with yourself and study your painting next to the master's painting. Okay, the second thing is to practice your fundamental drawing. Train your eyes to see the fundamental issues such as perspective, lighting, proportion, and scale. Some students sending me some paintings and ask me for feedback. When I look at their paintings, there are some issues that are very obvious to me, like a portrait with misaligned eyes or street scenery with car out of scale, people fall off perspective. These are things that you need to learn to spot, especially if you want to paint a believable painting. As much as we just want to paint watercolor, I cannot express how important your drawing skill is. Here's the thing. Practice drawing doesn't require any expensive material. All you need is a pencil and paper that you probably already have. Draw the subject you're most interested in. Draw from photos, from live, or copy other artists' drawing. It doesn't matter. What you want to do is try to practice fundamental. Practice drawing good shapes, value, and line work. There are many students who just want to dabble the paint and hoping to create a masterpiece. But that's not going to happen if you don't practice drawing. Once again, I'm going to have the master tell you about it.
This is something, sadly, not many people do. Study the subject properly. All this comes out in your work, proper finished work, if you do it. If you don't, then your main work suffers. You just have this kind of empty promise. Paintings that don't really understand the subject, they're just patterns.
Now, Joseph said it so well, I'm not going to try to say it any better. So the third thing is to take more photos. Wait, are we talking about watercolor? Well, yes, but again, watercolor is just a medium, and so does photography. And taking photo is the most direct way to capture your vision. And no, you do not need a fancy camera. your phone will totally do. Look for interesting shape and lightings around you. Compose your photo as if you're composing a painting. Don't just hold up your phone and camera and just take a random photo because you see pretty things. How would you present it in your own way? Can you envision this into a painting? There's so much thought you can put into a single photo, and if you put some thought behind every photo you take, you will improve the way you see things and your sense of composition. Many of my paintings are painted from a photo I took. The painting doesn't start when a paintbrush touches the paper. It starts when I took that reference photo. You should always look for interesting subject around you and see if you can take an interesting photo of it. If you look at your photo and you are able to envision a painting out of it, then you are well on your way to make a good painting. Now I understand each and every single one of the things I just listed was its own video or even its own course. So if you want me to dive deeper into each topic, let me know down below. But I also want to remind you that they are all free for you to do it right now. All it takes is time, and that's something most people don't want to spend. We all want some quick way to become a better artist and something that will instantly make your art better. But tough luck for you, that just doesn't happen that way. Putting the mileage in is very, very important. What I want to do is to help you along the way and provide you a good path for it. I'm walking that path myself, so keep going. Everything you do helps, and just because you don't see the result right away doesn't mean it's not moving you forward. So that's it for our coffee talk today. I hope this is helpful for you. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notification whenever I have a new video or a live painting demo. I'm Eric from Cafe Watercolor, and I will see you next time.